Hi there, Gemini. It's Maria from the Tarot Shop here with your reading for the month of May. If you haven't been to me before, then there are two decks in front of me and you. The one on the left is we've got a lovely bit of sun just peeping in through the crack. I'm not going to close that off because it's so welcome here today. The card on the left is an oracle deck. It's called the Wisdom of Birds. So we'll see what energy is going to fly with you this month ahead. And also 6 tarot cards. Now, I always say this, and it is really important that this is not an absolute. Tarot doesn't work like that. You should connect to the message. If it doesn't work for you, you don't know what I'm talking about, it doesn't feel right, then check out your moon and or your rising, because we don't always operate from our sun energy. So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing is that I do run a Buy Me a Coffee page, although it is a standing joke with all of my regular listeners that actually I don't drink coffee, but I will happily take one. And I leave the details of the decks that I'm using in the description. So please do comment. I always read them. So thanks very much for your time. Right, let's get on with this. Also, I finished the reading and I didn't even pull any cards. Did you hear that with the thanks very much for your time? It's one of those days. Right, Gemini. What bird is going to fly with you through the month of May? Chickadee, charisma and tenacity. So you're not going to give up and you're very charismatic. These are the cards. Aren't they gorgeous? And I want to say we've got the barn owl, some wisdom and perception. Okay, so we've got charisma and tenacity for Gemini. Your birthday is coming up, isn't it, at the end of May? Beginning of June. So let's see as the sun enters your sign. Okay, so are you focused on your happy ever after? I do feel that at the beginning of the month you are very much persuasive and very much enjoying this whole, I want to say soulmate. It's like the soulmate preoccupation. And if that's not a person, then it's something that really completes you. That's the best way to describe the lovers. It's about that other half of you, the duality in life, about making a decision with regards to your happiness as well. Okay, so this is very much around partnerships, but it's not always a person. It's that's something that makes you feel. Some people are just married to their job, you know, that kind of thing. Some people are married to their hometown, that sort of thing. It's that kind of thing where you really get that sense of belonging and that sense of self. Okay, so that's how we're beginning the month. Is we're very much focused on that other half of you and what makes you happy. So something should come in that really relates to that. And what is it that you're looking for? You know, have you got this idea that somebody from the past may come back in again, or there's a return of love or a return of that passion that was? So you're very much focused at the beginning of the month around what makes me happy, what is going to be my happy ever after, and you may be chasing it. So you may be spending some time within that energy around what is it I want and what is that other half of me, that missing piece. And if you are happily in a relationship and you are looking to me and saying, is this the time that we're going to get engaged? Then you will be very much focused, not necessarily around the engagement, but around what is it that I want? It could happen, but it's very much around the spending some time looking at your options is what I want to say. Okay. And then in the middle of the month, unrelated, we've got a situation here that says, you know, you have got here, something's worrying you. Whatever it was that I think you've got these expectations and the ideals, okay? And then in the middle of the month, you spend some time at night thinking about it. You can see that this person can't get to sleep. And it's head in the hands, like, what do I do? How do I do? Why is this wrong? What's making me feel anxious about this? There's something here that's not quite sitting right with you mentally. It's not kind of adding up. There's some situation, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's got anything to do with this other half of you, although it could. but something in the middle of the month is making you worry at night, okay? And you decide as a result of that, because you're good and you're strong and you decide to do this, you're going to walk away from it emotionally. So if, for example, you're preoccupied at the beginning of the month with my other half, and then in the middle of the month you go, but this isn't, how am I going to get it? You spend some time getting quite anxious about, I'm not going to be with this person. This is never going to happen for me. You know, this kind of, like, if you're on your own, those kind of, I'm going to give up, that kind of thing. Well, you are going to decide to release it emotionally, which is the best thing that you can do, because it causes, I don't think you really at the moment are able to put, I'm going to put that to one side because that's the lovely piece of news. You're spending the whole month focused on what it is that you want emotionally, okay, through a series of events. And you've got the charisma and the tenacity, so you're not going to give up. And that is a big thumbs up from me, because you shouldn't and you can't because of this last card. So don't give up. You're going to keep going. You're going to work through this. What is it? Oh my goodness me, is this ever going to happen? All this doubt and all this negative Nancy stuff comes in at the middle of the month, and you decide to release it emotionally, because you may just hear this reading at the right time. And then to stop yourself being confused with all of these options, you could be the beautiful woman here or the beautiful man that's got all these wonderful choices and you just really don't know what to do. Or you could get the choice of another partner and you don't know what to do, and there's worry about it in the middle of the month. But you need to understand this. The cards are very much around, you've got charisma and tenacity to not give up, because you're just working towards your happy ever after, okay? That's what you're really focused on, is what makes me happy. And it may not necessarily be another person. You may decide that it's the job of your dreams or the home, as we've already gone through. And then at the end of the month, look at that beautiful Ace of Cups, which comes and says there's a fresh start. So whatever it is that you're working your way through, then that's great and good and golden, because it says it should be. But at the end of the month, you start something new. Now, I don't know what transforms, whether that's something new coming in or you finally decide what it is that you want. But whatever it is, it ends beautifully. And you've got the King of Cups here, which tells me I'm able to take responsibility. I think you're moving through something. There's something quite transformative that's happening here this month. And there's also some finances here if you're looking for some extra money and cash coming in as well through the month. Okay, I hope that you found that helpful. And as I always say, thanks very much for your time. See you next month. Bye-bye.